Hey, we are live again here at DevHub. I'm back, your host Joe, along with Owen, and we got a really great episode here today. But let's start. Owen, you are live in Thailand right now. How's it going?
It's uh it's going well. I'm having a bit of audio issues.
No problem.
1 second. I know what was happening. I had the live stream on my other window, so I was hearing you twice. I was so
Nice,
confused.
nice.
Yes, from what I caught, hello, I am in Thailand. Um, you might have to repeat what you said again.
No, just saying hello. You are coming live from Thailand. We have the Redacted event that is this weekend. That you will be live at attending. It should be pretty great. I know a lot of people are already out there.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna like you don't get to see people often that you work with in this remote setting, so I'm glad to see everyone in person, not just because there's an event, just nice to see people I've worked with and I know their profile picture more than their face.
Yeah, of course, of course. That's always a struggle there, right? Of just everyone's avatar. Um, but we got a great episode today. We're going to talk about the Redacted Hackathon that we've been going through so much for the past couple months is over. All the submissions have been submitted. We are just lining up to kind of eventually announce the winners, which will not happen on this episode. We are not announcing winners. Anything we show today is not a winner. We're just talking about projects. We're going to highlight a few different things that we've seen just to kind of show off some of the work that's being done. None of this is like an endorsement, like, oh, this is definitely a winner. Like, it's none of that. I am not a judge. I have not seen the judging. So this is purely just like my own opinion. Owen participated, so he doesn't know what's happening either. So how was participating? How was it being a hacker, Owen?
It was pretty good, like a lot of effort to be honest because we were building something quite big and well in the last few weeks as it always is in the last few hours there was it was like a mad rush to the end. You always think you're prepared and going to have everything done like halfway through and you think you'll be able to do like double as much as you end up doing. um but yeah, big rush in the end, but it was good. Like for me, it's not always about trying to win money or whatever. It's just being able to like be in the right mind and think, hey, for this next 2 months, I'm
Yeah.
hacking, and that's like my number one priority. And I can also, because I was working on a pre-existing project,
Mm-hmm.
it's also nice to it's like an easy way to get people involved as well. I can
Sure.
just say, "Hey, we're doing this hackathon. Come build on our project, our pre-existing project, because we already have like the setup and the mechanisms, and we know what we're doing, and we can just hit it straight away. Like, don't really need to faff about. So, like, even if we don't win any prizes, it's nice that we got some work done and made some progress there. But yeah, in general it was good, and I like it's nice to well I was at the hacker house, so there were people building alongside me, but it's nice to build alongside people like online as well. It's like atmosphere of everyone building and everyone's in the same mindset. So good vibe, good building, got some stuff done.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it's that's the feedback I've heard from a lot of different people so far, and I do feel like though the amount of time really allowed for more people to kind of jump in. Oh, here we go. AI the future. Nice. Good reference to the U.S. election. Nice. Uh, I think it really allowed people to kind of, like you said, like jump in who maybe wouldn't have jumped in before, stuff like that. Did you though feel like at times maybe it was too much time, like where you find yourself still like waiting till like the last week to really make a push, or was this a nice pace because you could also work your job as well? Oh, I think he's frozen. Oh, well, he's looking frozen. All right. So I'm gonna talk to myself for a minute. Um, we'll see if Owen comes back. Let me bring to the stage here. Here, I'll hide Owen for now until he's ready to come back. So if you haven't seen on DevPost, you can go to the project gallery. You can jump in and check out all the different projects that are right now. They've all been submitted. These are actually complete projects. You can see their video. You can see, what they've actually wrote up. They're not any particular order. I'm not sure what order these kind of go in. I guess you could sort them in here by like name or recent stuff like that. So, uh, but what I wanted to do today was talk a little bit about, again, some projects that I've kind of just got a sense of that we're building, and again, these are not endorsements, nothing like that. I just wanted to highlight a little bit more of like what actually is out there and available. So let's just do a quick little recap and reset here. So couple things went on here. So if you missed the beginning part of this, there's over $700,000 in prizes. We had over 1,600 participants. We had hundreds of submissions, and then again, some of these participants became teams and things like that. So there was a nice mix here of all of that. What we then got from there is, again, you can go here and see is, everything that's in the project gallery is the stuff that was actually submitted on time and things like that. Oh, listen, we have Owen back. Here he is. There he is.
Sorry about that. That's the problem with traveling. It's always terrible Wi-Fi, but I'm back on data. I think it should be fine.
Nice. Yeah, before you froze, I was just asking about the timing of it. With all that extra time, was it almost too much time, or was it nice balance? Did you find yourself still scrambling the last 24 hours? What was that like?
Yeah, like I said, in the end, it was a bit of a scramble because I think to start with, I was like, oh, yeah, it was somewhat too much because I was like, hey, I've got ages to
Hmm,
do this. I'm gonna take holiday for like a week and a bit and not do any hacking. And then
sure.
when I'm looking back at it at the end of like so I was thinking, why was I not doing anything for that whole week? Like we could have got a bit more pushed out the door, but it's
Yep.
yeah, ignorant. Yeah, you could always do more, but we got done what we could. But yeah, it was nice to have more time in general and build something proper.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, I hope people kind of felt the same way. This was definitely a different approach. One of the things that I'm really curious about, and I don't expect you to answer this necessarily, but just kind of in general, of with the amount of AI tooling that's available now, is that going to like change how hackathons are done? Where like I can rely on AI to write so much of my code. It's really almost, I feel like, less about like writing the code and almost starts to becoming more of like the idea in the presentation, and can I actually execute on it because I can now have ChatGPT write most of my stuff. What do you think about that?
My take on it would be that things become a lot easier, but like implementation is not dead by any means, in my
Mm,
opinion. Like
sure.
I, I don't think the tools are there yet. Like this is very good at, hey, just build me a web app, but with a lot of the models, they're not fine-tuned to building their smart contracts by any means. Like they are still using the old um, SDK. AI will take your price. Um, so when I'm writing my contract, I think AI is great for front end and great for productivity in general, but it's very difficult to articulate exactly what you want, because there's like 1,000 different approaches you could go to building something,
Hmm.
and you may want to do it a certain way for whatever reason, and it's difficult to explain it to the AI. And I've not really tried to build a big project just through like prompting AI with ChatGPT or whatever. And maybe
Right.
that's something I should try. I don't know. Have you ever done that? I've done this week, creating some script for like an example I was writing, and I just
Sure.
got AI to do all of that, 100% of that. But I don't know. I don't think it could do well enough for a big project with something that's so specific.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I've never done the whole big project either, but just from my experience, I can't imagine that actually really going well, because you, like you said, you have to be hyper specific. You have to know still implementation parts of it. It's one of the things where like it really is just a tool right now. I think if people are using it as the thing and not as part of their tool set, like that's where you run into issues currently. But it's going to be really curious to see how hackathons continue to go going forward from here. But there was a lot of AI available in this hackathon. There was, some of the prizes, including were like best use of AI. There were multiple AI sponsors in this as well. So really should be interesting to see kind of also where that blend fits in here and what we actually get out of it. So definitely excited to see some of the things. But let's jump into some of the different projects. And if you're just joining us, again, like these are not winners. These are not necessarily, endorsements of anything. These are just some different projects that I kind of jumped in, went through the project gallery, which is fully live on the DevPost site. Again, you can go to the project gallery and you can go see all the different submissions. I definitely encourage you to go check out what different people built. There's some pretty cool stuff in there. But I wanted to again take some time today and just kind of go through some of the different projects that I saw that I thought were just kind of noteworthy to me. All right, let me.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I've done a bit of a scroll through, and there is a lot of AI projects, and you can tell there's a lot of AI generated image as the like what do you call thumbnail or something. And I
Yeah,
think
for sure.
going back to what we were talking about before, I think it's very good that you pointed out like most people, and it's best to use AI as a tool at the minute, I think, rather than it's like leading the, and that's how I've been using for the majority of things. Like I say, with writing a script, it took the lead there, but how I'm normally using it is just and um, cursor or like GitHub that will help me out like inline, and when it gets stuck, it might
Yeah,
help me as well, but
for
not
sure.
doing like the whole implementation. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's. I mean, one of the things definitely is people got definitely comfortable with different AI content generation. That's going to be a big piece of it. I'm sure some of these videos that you're going to watch people were AI generated. And so the creativity piece is where I think all this kind of fits in. But let's jump into one here and we'll start. I have a few here I want to watch. So this one, I guess we will say this as Scaveny. I don't know how to pronounce that.
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
attempt.
yeah. So we'll just leave it. But here, let's watch and see what what's all about. Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong thing. There we go.
Hi everyone, I'm Ahnaf. Today I'm excited to introduce you to Stephanie, an AI-powered smart contract auditor designed for near smart contract. As developer myself, we know how important to maintain the security in our application, especially in smart contract. To maintain the security, we usually do an audit. However, manual audits are time-consuming and also expensive. That's where Stephanie comes in. It automatically scans your smart contract for vulnerabilities, security issues, and provide you with actionable feedback to help you build more secure smart contract. Let me take you through some of the key features that make Stephanie special. First, We don't just scan the code. It leverages AI model and combined with knowledge base of near common vulnerabilities and also best practice. This means you get a context-aware analysis, not just a generic security checks. Second, Scafani integrates seamlessly with your workflow. You can run it as a GitHub action and then check it for every commit or pull request, or use it locally during your
That's cool.
development. Third, it's highly customizable. You can choose your AI model, adjust your parameter, and then adjust your prompt and get report in a different format. And the best part, while Scafani is free to use, you maintain full control over the cost by using your own API keys. And in the future,
I think
we will support.
with these AI tools, I've seen a few smart contract auditors,
Yep.
and I think a lot of them, for example, like the last hackathon we in Singapore, there was 2 submissions to auditors,
Yep.
and I think what's becoming obvious is that it's necessarily about how good of a job like the actual audit is doing, because you that's the part that's really difficult, to be honest, because
Yep.
you can just prompt a pre-existing model with a like near contract details or actual near contracts and like the documentation, but I mean you're probably not going to be training your own model on this, right? So I
No, I
think
wouldn't think so. Yeah.
So I think right now the most interesting bit to me on this has been like, how is this linking in with a developer's workflow? So I see here that it's linking in actions, which I think is really cool. So I
Yep.
just whenever you're making like a PR or you like push your code to GitHub, then it's going to run there for you, and you don't really have to think about doing it yourself. And so I think that's really cool, and it's just like low overhead, right? You just see that the audit went well or didn't go well. Another integration we saw in Singapore was someone doing it through Cargo Near, which is like the cargo tool we have for deploying and building contracts. So it would like do an audit whenever you go to deploy,
Oh,
which is cool.
interesting. Yeah, that is cool. I do think here the piece that is most appealing is the customization piece of that, but also the other part of that is, like you said here, being able to like drop it into your workflow, so like through GitHub Actions and things like that, which is really clever. I do always worry a little bit about some of these ones here where like I just don't feel like there's enough proper data out there where, if you ask, let's say, one of the like ChatGPT or Cloud to like write a near smart contract, it's not going to be great, and so there's going to be problems, and I am constantly finding bugs as I'm just even having like do code completion, right? Like if you just turn on like Copilot and you're doing code completion, like bugs will show up, and so I'm a little skeptical of like where that fits in, but I like the idea here of like fitting this into um your workflow. Let's watch a little bit
Yeah,
more.
I was just before we do, I was actually quite surprised when I was using Copilot and I was writing some contracts, like near being asynchronous. I'm not sure how it works in Ethereum. I've not really touched like Solidity contracts, but it recognized when I was writing a cross contract call and a callback that I should revert the state um, if the cross contract call was to fail, which is something like people miss actually a fair bit.
Oh,
So I was surprised it caught that actually.
that's interesting. Yeah, that's very cool. Let's see what
For
else.
the local model support. So, without further ado, let's try Scafani. Alright, here's how easy it is to set up Scafani in your GitHub workflow. First, you just need to create a new file and then copy this YAML code to your repository. Because we use a remote model, don't forget to add the API keys in the secret of a GitHub letter. Here I already did some changes to the code. Notice in the pull request or the action tab, we can see the Stephanie running its analysis immediately. Once the scan finished, Stephanie left comments directly on our pull request. As you can see here, here's the with detailed vulnerabilities found in each files.
That's cool.
Can we
Let's see what's behind the scene.
can we like give it a pause? I want to see what it's picked up on.
Yeah, let's see if we can.
Like I say, I think this bit is very difficult to do right, but I'd still be interested to see high severity. I can't really see issue. The mint function allows unlimited minting of tokens without any access control. I know that seems pretty reasonable, right? It's not checking for like storage deposit, right?
Right. Yeah, no, it's
pretty
interesting. Good. Yeah, for sure.
Detailed vulnerabilities found in each files. Okay, now let's see what's behind the scene. Stephanie uses retrieval augmented generation or RAG to improve its quality and the accuracy of the smart contract audit. How we do that? We maintain a database of known vulnerabilities, security best practices, and common issues in your smart contract. Alright, for the process. During the audit process, when analyzing a specific part of smart contract, we perform a similarity search in the vector stores to find the most relevant entries from our knowledge base. And finally, after we find the retrieved information, this information is then provided to the model. Alright, so what are you waiting for? Head over to our GitHub, try Stephanie for yourself, and let us know what you think. Thanks for watching.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I
That's
look,
nice.
I like the approach. Definitely, again, leveraging near in a different way. Yeah, I think that's an interesting one. Let's try another one here.
Yeah, I think those auditors are really interesting. And like I said, at Singapore, we had a few of these submissions, and I saw that we were going to have submissions. So before the judging happened, she whipped up a purposely terrible smart contract to sort of benchmark these auditors. And most weren't catching the errors. But this one seemed quite good. I could see they were like training it specifically, even on the SDK. That just didn't sound right for some reason. Yeah,
That's
the
all right.
near SDK types.
Yeah. Sorry, we'll forgive you. It's late there. So we have a AI crawler next. So another AI one here. So detects the semantic structure of the website, user visits, parses data on the fly, users reward for just browsing. Interesting. Okay. Let's see what they got. We got no sound. Okay.
No audio.
All right. So we'll just.
You can do a talk over it if you want to.
Yeah. It looks like they're scrolling Twitter here. All right. You got a little scrape, data scrape. Okay. We're gonna jump ahead. We get it.
Maybe using like Massa, maybe. It seems to be is like scraping each website you're going on.
So here, let's get a little bit more information. Implemented a web browser extension, unattendedly scraping websites the user visits. Once created once for the website. Interesting. So, where's the near part of this? I'm guessing payments, paying people to browse the web. I guess
payments. Well, I think in this hackathon, it didn't even have to be near specific as long as it was conforming to one of like the bounty sponsors. So I suppose if they were using something like Massa, it could be under the
under that bounty. Yeah.
I think it was called like the chain agnostic bounty or something.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, this is interesting how it's sort of like passively scraping the websites you're visiting. Oh, I see some seems to be some like wallet up there or something.
Yeah, I think it's probably like you're getting credits for viewing and stuff like that. You know, yeah, it's this. You know, again, I think I like that people are trying different things here, trying to monetize, you know, and scrape in a different way. I do wonder how well that goes over. I could see sites blocking that. The Brave browser does something similar with like how you see ads. You know, and they were rewarding through a token. So it's kind of the same concept there.
Yeah, I think these concepts are like sort of going back to Near's roots, right? Because we know that, well, if you don't know, Near started off in AI originally, and then they wanted to do, I think it was like a 6 month detour to build like a blockchain for payments.
Right.
And they ended up being a bit longer than 6 months. So using with like AI and the blockchain for payments is a good use case in the original one, like proposed by Near.
So here's a new one. So this one's called Web3 Content Hub. This one is leveraging one of the Bounty sponsors, Masa, which we had a workshop with them here on DevHub Live. And it looks like what they're doing here is what's the thing? We host events frequently without little notice. We scramble to make quality social media content on time. So here's this. Let's see what they got.
I am the PR of a student club in my college. We conduct a lot of events, sometimes on a super short notice. So there is hardly any time left to create content for social media. Last minute captions, rush posts, and some random images. So for this, we needed a smarter approach. So I found about React Hackathon, but there is only 10 days to do my project. With only 10 days left, I have divided the project into 3 segments. First one is preparing the AI model, and second one is the front end and back end, and third one is the deployment. We use Masa's prescribed tweeted data. Thanks to Masa, they have provided the data in the CSV format. After converting those 5 CSV files into a single file, when user enter a query, it passes to the database. It gives top 10 results according to the query and serves as a context for the LLM to produce a caption for that. So how this caption workflow works? Firstly, after sending those 10 tweets, a agent is responsible for converting those 10 tweets and understanding the context, and the other agent is used to convert those tweets into a passage where agents know how to what the context is about.
So first off, as we continue through this, video production top notch. Like brought the video production here. We got music, we got fast cuts. So I mean, he's on top of it. Initial thoughts so far for myself, I just I like the use of Masa. That's obviously nice putting that stuff together. Though the question always becomes, and I'm curious to see if it answers it in the second half here, is like, how does this outperform the current generic tools? You know, like why can't I just use
I think
ChatGPT?
I think your first comment about the video, yeah, it's an amazing demo. Yeah, I think stop being a well, we'll see how good this project is in the end, but maybe if it doesn't work out, you can be a video content producer.
Yeah,
My
right.
demo was nothing like this. It's just my monotone voice going over it.
Yeah, just ripping through. I think that's like 99% of the videos here, right? Are probably going to be just people doing like screen share and like let's go. But yeah, let's see.
And another agent is defined to write the caption and also the image description of how it should look. Now the AI model is done, but I have never built a website. I have zero experience with Next.js and backend, but I know what exactly I want.
We have to kind of
Yeah,
too much.
thank you there.
It's too much. Just- I mean,
Is this AI generated?
yeah, that is. It feels like it. Interesting.
2 days left and I hit rock. I have zero idea about the deployment. I have two paths to choose from. Either rush the development and break everything, or tell its story and bring it to it life. Sometimes the journey is more beautiful than the destination. And here am I with my project with 3 content hub.
Interesting. Well, I mean, jokes aside, well, maybe I guess part of this is like, I feel like if you, most developers would just be like, I'm just gonna break it. I'm just gonna like, let's just break it. It's 24 hours before. I'm gonna break all the things, and I'm gonna scramble until until we're ready. But I love the video. I like the intent what went in there. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
to be honest, I'm not quite sure what the the project is doing, to be honest. But I felt like I was along for the journey there.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely not long for the journey. And I think this is also too where, like, for this is where I think using the partner piece of it is interesting in a hackathon. When you have this larger hackathon, you have all these different partners. Like, I think you're going to probably see a lot of submissions that are like this, that are probably more focused directly on like, hey, this is really like being submitted to Massa, right? It's not really necessarily near project. It's an interesting idea. It's solving a problem for him, you know. So you have all those pieces there, but from like a larger like near project, it doesn't quite fit into that. But again, it still fits in this hackathon because we have these partner prizes. So yeah.
Yeah, it seems to have. It mentions near in here. I suppose it might be able to be applied anywhere, really.
Yeah. All right, let's try
Okay,
another one
cool.
here.
Next one. Yes.
Flipnear.
Yes.
Flipnear is an AI-powered platform that makes smart contracts and near protocol transparent, accessible. Merge GPT-4 analysis with DAO intelligence. All right. So
Did you pick?
dropping the D word here. So, let's.
Did you pick any that aren't AI?
I think everything is AI. I'm just picked through. I think everyone's used AI this year. It was like, you know what? Like, I guess I'm willing to bet anyone who didn't use AI, like, it probably still feels like they use AI, or maybe everyone just used AI. I don't even know, but yeah,
My project did not feature the letters A and I together at all.
well, you just lost. So sorry.
Probably. I'm behind.
Gotta get with it. All right, let's check out this video here. So
I mean,
AI
you
powered.
got to mention it in your like pitch deck if you're pitching to VCs, even if you're not using AI.
Yeah, you just like, yeah, we're using AI to make sure that we've optimized, beverage orders on the third hour of coding development. Yeah, something like that.
Hi,
Oh,
I'm
5 minutes.
Fripnea team.
Oh boy.
Basically, Fripnea is an AI-powered platform that makes smart contracts on near protocol transparent and accessible. We merge GPT-4o AI analysis with community intelligence to help users understand, verify, and safely. So when you get into our application of Fripnea, so you're gonna see this UI, the first search bar here, and you just start with connecting your wallet first. In this case, we're gonna use My Near Wallet, but we also support Near Wallet, Bitget Wallet senders as mentioned in the Near Wallet selectors. Okay, and let's try. In this case, first start, you need to know the smart contract of those protocol on Near protocol. I mean on Near chain, or by searching every dApp or DeFi or protocol on Near. They will be showing the smart contract on that documentation. You can search them and then just put it in here just as you like. Yeah. In this case, we're gonna use our own protocol. I mean, Near to show the case. Okay. Once done, just enter. Okay. Our AI will perform the analysis to check whether what is all about. Yeah. Even you are not a programmer.
All right, so I think we can kind of summarize a little what's happening here. So it's looking at just what are the actions that you can take on the contract. So it's not doing an actual evaluation of the code. And the reason why people aren't aware is because Near compiles into WASM, and WASM is not directly viewable. You can't just like look at a WASM file and see everything in it. So there's a challenge there. So this is just looking at the methods that are available to the contract. Interesting to take the AI approach. I do wonder, like, if you are
How
anything,
much of it is AI?
yeah, and like also on the same side of that, like, how much are you really getting out of info out of this? Like, where the AI probably can recognize, right, like a basic like token contract, NFT, right, maybe some like DeFi stuff. But then, like, if I made something truly novel, how would it know? Like, how would it know? Because it has no context around it. So I would be curious to
Do you
see how.
mean about like trying to like parse the WASM or?
No, just like, all right, so like it's clearly just looking at the methods, right? So like, what if I added a method called, like, I don't know, get mango, right? Like, how would it know what get mango means, right? I mean, it's like,
But where is it pulling these methods from? Like the ABI or?
it must be It's similar to like how like NearBlocks works, I'm assuming, right? Because NearBlocks brings in all of that, so it must be just from the ABI.
Yeah, unless they're using like something like a source scan that uploads the whole code, then you would have a good chance recognizing what it does.
Yeah. Let's give a little more
Not a
time here.
coder or smart contract developers, you still understand it because it's going to use simple word to interpret all those complicated smart contracts, so you can understand how many functions this contract functioning, and also what it's all about. In this case, in this contract for FripNet or testnet, it's about a social interaction contract that allows users to add comment, like dislike to the post. So it's help user engagement and sentiment tracking through comment and rating. Yeah. Moreover, our AI will also do the evaluation for the contract analysis as well. So what will be the risks, or what you need to like to see before, or what's all about it? How? So in this case, there will be some risks that the contract rely on user generated content, which may include inappropriate or misleading comments. Additionally, there might be the potential of manipulation of like dislike rating through coordination action here. Okay, and we also our AI you check thoroughly in detail and then put the unverified contract, because of most of the contract on Near protocol have not been verified. So our Fripnea gonna help this issue, because you cannot check the code. It's not that really transparent. So it's quite very hard.
Okay. So they're acknowledging that you can't see the actual code, you don't know any vulnerabilities. Hoping that at least from a descriptive standpoint, you understand what's going on. Yeah, definitely need a warning in there where like this is not a method of security necessarily, right? Like it's just giving you insight, but someone could still put malicious code in a contract around that. I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit here.
I think with these demos, like I know with my own demo I did, the demo is a lot better than actually interacting with it. Like there's some jump cuts in there, and there's some like there's jump cuts to make it look better, and you're doing very specific things a lot of the time. So I would like to interact with a lot of these like submissions. I think what it is that offering here seems actually like something I would use, because I'm a big documentation head, and I like to write out exactly what every method is doing. So if I come back to my code at a later date, or someone else does, then you can easily see what it is doing. And I think this would save me a lot of time. I'd be interested to see if it works for my own contracts, really.
Yeah, so that's a great point. So I think that like the use case here maybe is even a little different than maybe they first kind of thought about. But I always appreciate if someone's trying to, again, put some tools together, trying some different stuff. Again, the part here that is, I think, a little bit novel is that they're trying to make it, again, easy for anyone, not being necessarily technical. The DAO-based governance system, I guess, of like probably verifying the contract, saying, oh, this is a okay contract. That's interesting to some degree, of like a social layer of saying, yep, this contract is safe, or this contract should be blacklisted, things like that. I always wonder how much people, though, would ever participate in that kind of stuff. But listen, you got to put it out there to see first. So definitely seems interesting. Again, the challenges here, like, again, it's just leveraging GPT. I could see projects being matched together a little bit. People who are making the custom things, stuff like that, might be interesting too. All right.
Yeah, I think you see like a lot of similar submissions. Like I was doing a betting based one, crypto betting.
Yeah.
It goes very hand in hand. So there was a lot of betting submissions, and I've been around trying to think, hey, how can we collaborate with these other projects? Because my view is like, I'd rather something be successful, and like lower my token allocation or whatever, and have it actually happen than never happen.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. I mean, and there is only so much. I mean, it is hard to be creative, as like a totally new novel idea, but it's where I think execution can certainly make a difference, especially when you have a hackathon a little bit longer here, like this one where it's a couple months. Hopefully you start to see differentiators from there. So let's check out this one. This one seems interesting. Dead Project Snipper. Sorry, not Sniper, Snipper.
I thought it was Sniper as well.
Yeah, Snipper. I just well, in America we love our guns, so I always think gun first. So you track social activity of projects that received grants to see if the projects have met an unfortunate end. I kind of like that. I like the thought.
This
here.
one seems unique.
Yeah, well, let's see what's going on here.
Welcome to Dead Project Snipper, the tracker for projects that have met an unfortunate end. This tool tracks projects that receive grants from Potluck. Our goal is to identify challenges early on, provide insights, and help make data-driven decisions to deal with the struggling projects. So let's start by taking a look at here, where the project from Potluck list is listed. Currently, we don't have everything on here, only a few selected top projects which have the most donations in. if you select one of the projects like this, it will show the graphs and the scores and the reports like this. And note, this is a dummy data. We are still wrangling with it. And what we focused on is to build a pipeline, and yeah, which we used with Masa and NearBlocks Indexer to retrieve social and on-chain data.
So, right off the bat, I understand the problem they're trying to solve. Totally makes sense to me. They're integrating multiple available projects and tools on Near. This certainly seems interesting, and this is actually, again, where it's like, this is a pretty novel approach in my mind, where it's fairly straightforward. Like, it's just using, again, like the Twitter data from Masa. It's using commits. It's using contract updates and stuff like that. But they made it look really nice. That the dashboard looks great. Even though probably it's a beta dashboard.
Yeah, it's pretty sexy dashboard. I'm wondering a bit more about how it's working, because I saw they put in like a Near account ID, but then it's giving information for like GitHub and Twitter. So I wonder how it's getting that data that was like these socials were submitted as part of the tool, or do you think it's so advanced that it can go from like one link to another and like scrape that and find other links and like navigate down this tree?
Yeah, that's a great question. I wonder. I definitely wonder how that's being handled here, and I could certainly, it feels like they have a lot of room to kind of run with this a little bit and see how it goes. I don't know if that data probably exists today of like having those connections, but it would certainly be pretty cool to get to that point.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's watch a little bit more. It's only a minute and a half.
And this shows the summary score driven from the activity data, which is shown like this. And for scoring the report, we utilize LLM as a judge to assess whether a project is effectively dead or still progressing. The assessment is backed by a combination of textual descriptions and the visual data representations here. These insights should help stakeholders to make informed decisions regarding future actions. So this is more like a report view for the stakeholders, and we have another UI that helps the experts decide on which metric should be like worth something. Like this experimental dashboard is designed for subject matter experts to quickly iterate and experiment with different data analysis approaches. You could just press buttons here, and then it will run the code here. We will end up giving reports like this. So you could experiment with different prompts, and down here, it's not created yet, but if you could create plots and just use different kind of comparative analysis down there. But that projector snipper aims to raise awareness about dying projects and provide early signals for intervention. We did not implement yet, but we are planning to alert stakeholders and initiate review processes. And furthermore, we want to go build some more features for the agent and further the AI funding agent initiative.
Interesting. I like the notification piece. That makes sense to me. Yeah, it's certainly solving a problem here. It would be neat if you could like link this into a couple other different features, like like in the chat saying, can it be botted still? Can you fake it? So how are you evaluating that? Can you do some bot detection? Could milestone payments be tied to some of this? Could you start to build this, you think, of scale, right? So certainly a lot of opportunities here that I think is really pretty neat. This seems like a pretty decent project overall, and I like where they're going with it, at least.
Definitely. Well, we had Plug from Potluck previously on here on
Yep.
live streams, and it seems like this is exactly like one of the components he was looking for, and you could really see when he was talking through the AI funding stack and the components to build this AI funding model that like there was a lot to it, and you could go down the rabbit hole
hmm
really to make the whole process. So it's like it can get really complex and really complete, and I wonder like what stage we can get to right now and how much can be automated by this. But this seems like a step in the right direction for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So really excited to see, again, people trying to think a little bit outside the box and just trying stuff. Again, that's what a hackathon's for, right? You don't have to have a perfect project, but definitely try to get out there and try some stuff. Overall, look, I it's really neat to see what people are building. I'm sure there was so many submissions. I'm sure there's a lot of great ones. And we just randomly kind of grabbing some. There a lot of AI. I think that's gonna be a big theme. I'm really excited to see some of the winners that come out of this. Looks like there's some pretty good competition all the way through. If you didn't get a chance to participate on this one, but you want to keep building on Near, at the down below, we've been scrolling the whole time. Dev.near.org. You can get started there. There's always time to build and try different things. And if you are going to be live in person in Bangkok this weekend for the Redacted event, it should be great. There is a small challenge that will be there as well. It's not necessarily a hackathon or anything, but there's a kind of a puzzle that people can participate in and maybe win some prizes as well. So it should be a good time overall.
Yeah, and if you're out there and spot a little tiny me, and come and say hi. It'd be great to see you in person. And we
Yeah, thank
do, yeah, if you didn't get a chance to participate, we are also sponsoring ETH Bank, which should be good. We'll have some more bounties there, which should be like AI and chain abstraction around there.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's again, I don't know the status of like any kind of tickets, whatever else, but again, if you don't know the IRL event, a lot of great speakers, including Edward Snowden doing a remote speaking engagement. He obviously won't be there. So one of the things here that, again, if you want to see the schedule of everything that's going on, this will all be live streamed. So if you cannot make it, you can still watch all the great videos, hear all the great talks, and just see what's going on near. I have been told that there's going to be a lot of great alpha at this event, a lot of new stuff coming, a lot of announcements that are happening at this event directly. So definitely check it out. It should be really fun. I'm sorry I cannot be there, but it should be really great.
Yeah, I'll make sure to take a lot of pictures to make you jealous,
Thanks,
just as
man.
I did with when I went to the F1.
I appreciate that. Yes. No, it should be fun, but I do not miss the traffic by any means. I've seen some pictures of that, and I've seen some pictures of people trying to cross the road, and I am all set with all of that. So enjoy that. Again,
Yeah, how many Near Foundation employees will get run over during the weekend?
right. Let's hope it's zero, but maybe there's a poly market for that. Over under on that. Look, this was fun. This hackathon was great. We're gonna keep doing workshops and stuff here at near DevHub. So DevHub Live will continue different weeks to do stuff. We actually have one coming up near the end of November around privacy building, taking that a little bit step further. There's some great stuff really coming down the pipeline. Just because the hackathon is over, the event's going to be over after this weekend. We are not done. There's so much more stuff, and there's a lot of great stuff that's going to be being built here on Near that we want to make sure everyone's a part of. Subscribe to the newsletter down below. Owen personally curates it each week, so make sure that you're you're following along and you see all his great effort and work that gets put into that. And again, any questions that you have, whatever else you want to get started building, dev.near.org is the place to get started. And we hope to see you there. Until next week, if you are in person and you are in Bangkok at Redacted, have a ton of fun, be safe, learn lots of stuff, send me prizes, and I will see you all next week. Bye, folks.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye now. We're still live and bye.